Hello, I'm Dr. Susan Wehry, Director of AgingME, and I want to thank you for watching our video. You know, a lot of people with dementia, their friends, family, allies, and care partners express a considerable amount of fear, anxiety, and sometimes even dread about living with chronic brain changes. Our message is a simple one. Talking now about what matters most to you can help you get the care, services, and supports you need to thrive while living with brain changes. Talking now about what care, services, and supports you may or may not want in the future can help ensure that what matters most to you is always honored.
I want to start out with first telling you all a little bit about the Dementia Action Alliance, because we're a nonprofit organization made up of people living with dementia, their partners, dementia specialists, and others who are interested and committed to making the world a better place to live with dementia. One of the distinguishing characteristics of our organization is that we have people living with dementia intricately, and like Barney, intricately involved in all of the discussions, all of the things that we do as an organization, because we feel that it's so important to have that experience of actually living with dementia shared and considered in anything that we do. One of the things that we do is have work groups, and as part of Dementia Action Alliance, I'm privileged to be the chair of the Optimizing Wellbeing Work Group. And as Susan said, this topic came up almost a year ago now, repeatedly, where members were voicing concerns about end-of-life situations.
Once we found out, my wife and I, that I had Lewy body dementia, we, as it turns out, my wife had some family members or a family member, a second cousin or so, that had Lewy body dementia. And the family members of that person were able to give us some really good advice. And one of them was, because of falls, because of balance types of issues, you really want to get to a living type of arrangement that is a single floor. Most people want to stay at home as long as they possibly can, and that's certainly my situation and what I wanted to do. But you have to make sure that you can do that in a place that will be safe for you. We had been living in a home that was 3 stories. And we said, well, that's not going to work. There's too many stairs. So we sold our house and moved into a 1-story home, which is where I'm at now, and tried to do some other things as necessary, and thinking about in the future how we may have to change certain things, certain parts of the bathrooms, things like that, in order to be able to function well and maintain a level of comfort and a level of efficiency. Probably most meaning in my life comes from being a dad and spending time with my kids and trying to help, and if I can teach or whatever. We're going to be doing some videos, and we're going to be putting down in these videos kind of my wishes in terms of end-of-life type of treatment, types of scenarios. And I'm going to make sure that either in the filming of those videos or after the videos are shot, we get together as a group and watch the video or watch it while I'm being videoed, so that everybody can hear exactly what I'm saying and hear the same words and know exactly what my wishes are. I think this is really important. I've seen examples where there are misunderstandings, or worse, when it comes to final wishes, those types of things. And I want to make sure that's completely clear. So I've decided that the best way to do that is to do a video of that.
What matters most to people sometimes is something that's surprising, like what they don't want, because we've been focusing on what they do want. What do you want? But I think another dynamic to ask people is, what do you want to make sure we don't do? Mm-hmm. And you don't want this to happen, or you don't want us to do this for you, to you, whatever. Very few people ask the question, what is your ideal dying scene? What is your ideal death? Not that we're given it, because we never know how we'll die, but it's a very deep, much deeper conversation to hear who people want to be surrounded by. What is the behavior of those people that will help you make your transition? What can we do for you physically to make you comfortable? And what do you not want us to do? Do you want us to say prayers? Do you want us to read to you? Do you want that special music you love? Do you want us to hold your hand? Do you want us to just be still and quiet? You know, and I think it becomes much more intimate when it becomes a real conversation and a real sharing, like, oh, I never would have thought about that. Oh, that's an idea. I like that. Or, gee, my thinking is a little different. Or so that it becomes a real connecting point, because death is one of the most intimate things we could talk about, just like life is. That the family dynamic really comes into play when we think about end of life. And some families, Barney, it sounds like you co-created a beautiful family dynamic. Not all families have that. And so there are many families that have a lot of competition, a lot of issues of control, obviously, issues of I know what's best for mom or dad. And so I think that with many families, the family dynamic is something to consider in planning. For example, it might be better in planning with someone asking them their wishes. And of course, I believe these forms are very helpful in getting a family started. And that's what our committee has been doing, finding the forms that we think might be helpful to people to at least have an outline of questions and concerns. But I think that having it small at first with maybe an intimate exploration with the person, maybe the family member that seems to have the best resonation and chemistry with that person, to start out small, maybe not having a big family gathering and asking questions as a large group. And again, this is up to the family, but I want to put that caution about timing is everything. And the timing for the person as well. Is this person having a good day to have a conversation like that? Are they going through some physical pain or some emotional issues, or they're tired, or they don't feel they can focus at all? So I think being sensitive to the timing of the person and the family dynamic, and starting small, maybe with one person that seems to resonate, and begin that process in an intimate way.
Our committee has just put together some recommendations. Toward the end of the year, Susan brought to us, to our attention, the Conversation Project. And we started looking at the tools that are offered by the Conversation Project. The Conversation Project is actually an initiative of the Institute for Healthcare Improvement. And Susan tells us that she's been working with these tools for a long time. And so we looked at the tools, and we looked at some other tools, and we kind of honed down to these are ones that we think are really, really, really useful for helping to put together an individual's end of life plan.